Fob confused why Inzer's having a spending event.
I think for me, I'll keep saying it's the golden passive thing is not the weirdest part for me. For me, it's the fucking spending event.
You know what sucks? When you're in a game and the worst thing ever isn't even the worst thing ever. And when the worst thing ever also gets announced with the second worst thing ever in the same fucking patch. And nobody talks about it. And that's what's fucking insane to me. Is that we have to differentiate how many S's are in the tier of how hard they fucked up. Guys, happy anniversary. But guys, there's good things coming in 8 months. Oh, happy anniversary, dude.
I've played Hoyo games for a long time. The only fucking Hoyo game that has spending events is Honkai Impact. That's why during the live stream I was so surprised.
Honkai Impact? You mean the dead fucking game? Oh man.
Is that they're doing a spending event.
What if Wuwa does it for its anniversary? They do spending events in PGR, even though that game is here top 3 most generous gacha games in existence. It would depend how it's implemented. Yeah. No, but I do think having spending events is bad. I do think it's bad.
Event.
Now, I don't think it's as bad as a global passive, but I do think it's bad. I think it's greedy as fuck. Yep.
Because here's why I say that, chat.
By the way, guys, we're doing a spending event on stream right now. Yeah, we will be doing a spending event right now. So if you guys want to participate, top sub gifter by the end of the stream gets VIP forever. Yeah, man. Spending event, poggers.
Most of anybody in chat play gacha games for a long time, since like the old era, right? Pre-Genshin. Can we all agree spending events
I can only
are
inhale
a
copium that season 3 of the anime
games?
comes out.
Yes.
Right? Like a lot of gacha games pre-Genshin did a lot of spending events. It's a old gacha mechanic, gacha tactic. Genshin.
So there was a lot of spending events, but more so, there was more rolling events. And the reason why that's a huge differentiator is due to the fact that a spending event you always have to spend hard cash for. Rolling events, free-to-plays can participate in because you can save up for these events. And then once you know one rolling event happens, then you'll be like, oh, okay, I want to be very careful with my pulls, and that way when the next one happens, then I can blow my whole load. And that's what people did for things like Summoner's War. Summoner's War had the same thing. And people would save up thousands of pulls. You guys remember how you think Honkai Star Rail is generous because it gives you a 10 pull every update patch? I want to remind you guys, in Summoner's War, you would get a 10 pull or 2 a day. You could roll a lot. You could roll a lot in that fucking game. It was great.
Genshin kind of did away with it. It was one of, like, I think the few things that I was surprised Genshin never did.
Did they have pity? Fuck no. And you would only get a 5-star once every 200 pulls. But it was hype. And you want to know why they gave you 20 pulls every day? Because there was like over 1,500 different characters to collect, and every account was different. And if you got a good unit, you were like, yo, what? You got that, dude? Damn. I had this character, the Light Desert Queen. She was called Isis. Yeah, very unfortunate. But she was the shit. Which Lee... Oh, sorry, I had to piss. All right, cool, keep going.
Right? And this is why you see, like, a lot of the post-Genshin gacha games don't really have stuff like that.
True.
Right? At least, like, the more mainstream ones.
Yeah.
But...
Because the mainstream ones make mainstream money. I can understand if games that are struggling to keep their head above water have a spending event. I get it. I don't get when a game that's already made $1.3 billion since launch needs a spending event. They fucking don't. Like, don't get me wrong. I think if Wuthering Waves were to do it, I'd be like, okay. But Genshin or Honkai Star Rail doing that, I'd be like, what the fuck? ZZZ, I could also be like, okay, all right. Wizardry I could get, Or like Love in Deep Space, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like they're already making so much money, but like a dynasty on top doing that shit, that's like Donald Trump doing a fundraiser. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
HSR reenacting it is like very weird to me that
Yeah.
they decided to do that with HSR of all games, not even Genshin.
Yeah. Why'd you quit Summer's War? I mean this genuinely. I was losing my life to it. I spent over $60,000 in that game that I did not have, and I liked it too much to where I had to stop. Genuinely. I think Summer's War is one of the best mobile games of all time. That was $60,000 pre-content creator money. Yeah, no, that shit fucked my life up. I loved it way too much. I could not stop myself. And that's the same feeling I had with Cookie Run Kingdom. I had to stop myself. Yeah, and what's really unfortunate is that's the same way I feel about Wizardry. Yeah. However, you know what's great about Wizardry? I never feel the urge to pull. I don't. I already have every character I want. I don't care. Legit. You know what I like thinking for Wizardry? I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to just play the game. Yeah, I just got everybody. I spent like $300. I got everybody, and I'm good. And what's crazy is I could have re-rolled and got all that shit for free. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Now when a new character comes out, yeah, I'll jump a couple bands. Fuck it, man. I'll get the next character for like $120. I don't care. If I want them. But other than that, it is what it is. It's great.
You know? And arguably, I think Genshin still is probably the better moneymaker, no? But maybe Genshin
Yes, it
takes
is.
more resources, but then at that point, wouldn't you also want to make more money off of Genshin?
Yeah, Genshin makes more money, but it is also more development time. And Honkai Star Rail, they can kind of churn these updates out very quickly. They don't have to balance it for exploration. They don't have to balance it for like combat mechanics. Like they can just like, it's a very static game, so it's very easy to develop when compared to Genshin, 100%.
Very confusing. Yeah. Elysia passive will double stamina regeneration rate. That would be crazy. True. They're going to release a new HSR character that if you own them, you will essentially only need to spend... Well, Fabio was joking about it. You will only need to spend, what, instead of 1,600 Stellar Jades for a 10 roll, it's actually, you could only spend 1,400. It saves you 200 Stellar Jades per 10 roll.
Could you imagine that? And you know what's crazy? It sounds so ridiculous. It sounds so ridiculous. But do you know how much that character would sell if they had a passive called the Shopkeeper and they gave you discounts on it? Why are y'all typing leakers? There is no way that's real. That's surely fake. Stop. There's no way. Shut up. I ain't gonna believe y'all, man. I actually check and think before blindly believing my chat. I'm good. Absolutely not.
It's gonna be crazy. Yup. Cypher is actually coming out with a global passive where you have to only spend, you get to spend less Stellar Jades because she steals it from the company and gives it back to you. Yep.
Yeah, that's so good. What the fuck? It's good to see Fob talking out about that. That makes me very, very, very happy.